So 2010s and of course this current decade of music are considered some of the most hated music of all time. The music decades and the music eras. However, I'm going to be defending this current and even the 2000s because I think the 2000s, the 2010s, and 2020s are kind of the most overhated decades of music. Of course, me and many other Gen Z people have grown up with this decade and era of music. Okay, of course, we'll have our individual opinion on every artist of this decade and the 2020s and the 2000s, but a lot of people have grown up with this type of with these music. A lot of these songs for us are very recognizable and very impactful on us. For example, I know almost all of these songs on here. Okay, I know almost all of these songs because these were the songs we grew up with. These are the songs that we know. Okay, these are the songs that defined our generation. Yes, even you, Let It Go. But we go over multiple reasons why this new music is hated. One, it isn't rock music. Of course, old people and boomers, of course, are never gonna move on from classic rock. Okay, like I know one person. I'm not gonna, say his name or anything. Literally, will not move on from like 10 bands from the 70s and 60s. Okay, which is a kind of stubborn, which is very common with old people because usually, very, very old people listen to new music. Okay, people in the 50s, 60s, and even, and of course 70s, they're gonna stick to classic rock most likely, or the 90s music. Okay, but obviously I did not grow up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, so of course I think it's mostly because of a generational thing. Number two, rap music. The elephant in the room. A lot of people hate rap music. So the stereotype of rap music is very true of a lot of artists. It's about ass, sex, and drugs and money. With a lot of rappers, it is very true. Heck, in Eminem's first album, he has a song which basically makes fun of rap music. Okay, it's a really funny song because it makes fun of rap music. And basically says, don't you want to be dust like me? And basically he says like a lot of bad things rappers do as well, And I like the fact that Eminem started a rap career, and one of his songs on there, I think it's called Role Model. Yeah, it's called Role Model. Makes fun of rap music. It's Eminem is an artist very ahead of his time. Okay, but rap music is often the most hated genre. And really, it's, rappers, they probably have the shortest lived careers of any music artist, okay? Ice Spice was a big thing for like a year, and no one knows who she is now anymore. The Baby was a big thing for a year. Everybody wanted to be in, we've had The Baby on the song. She was everywhere on TikTok. Oh, nobody cares about The Baby anymore. Rappers come and drop like flies all the time, okay? And now even see the things about Drake, okay? Very sus things, okay? But I think at number 3, pop music. A lot of people don't like pop music. A lot of people see pop music as generic or boring or uninteresting. But that's the type of music that defined the 2010s. Okay, rock music died and pop music, it was basically the heyday of pop music. Okay, almost every major artist did pop music. Literal rock bands like Imagine Dragons really abandoned rock music and just turned to pop music. Fall Out Boy did the same thing, and many more artists did the same thing. They literally abandoned rock music for pop music. And there are several artists that really changed this and made pop music more popular. Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Adele, and many more. Okay, all of these several artists at once. Also Beyonce as well. I don't want to get Beyonce fans going up and saying that she wasn't important. So Beyonce too. But these artists, and many more that I don't know, that I don't remember. Oh yeah, Katy Perry, Ariana Grande, even many, many more. I'm only mentioning female pop artists. Of course, you have Ed Sheeran as well, getting popular around this time as well. And really, I think that and because radio started to play rock music less and less besides the classic rock music, pop music basically took over. Okay, especially around the mid-decade. Okay, pop music became really popular. I think it was mostly because of the release of 1989, followed by Adele's next album, which was probably one of the most anticipated album releases in history, besides Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets Department, which also had the most amount of streams in one day in all of history as well. The 2020s, obviously, music has been in a rough spot, but you can mostly blame the COVID pandemic for this, as obviously you had all these rules in COVID, so, but I do expect things to pick up back for the 2020s. Again, COVID really put a hit on the 2020s, but there have still been a lot of artists that have came around in the 2020s, especially Gen Z artists that have been very well received, regardless of my opinion on them or not, like Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish. It seems that this trend will continue as well, that pop music alongside of rap music, as much as rap music comes and goes, rappers come and go, it seems that pop, rap, and country are the three most popular genres, not heavy metal and not rock music. Okay, you might see a revival because of some of Olivia Rodrigo's songs becoming very similar to punk rock songs. Well, we might see a resurgence of rock-esque songs, but again, according to old people and boomers, they'll never recapture the same feel as classic rock, the real music. I think that's the problem, is that a lot of people, especially older people, have nostalgia for rock bands and rock music as well. I think we're going to see the same thing happen to the 2030s and 2040s eras in music. A lot of people who have nostalgia for the 2010s and 2020s in music, even the worst of this decade, like Call Me Maybe or Dance Monkey, yes, that song, people will start to defend because, I was expecting Skibidi Toilet the album, or Lanky Box the album. Okay, I'm going too far. Gen Alpha music will be like that. Skibidi Toilet, TikTok Wiz Party music. No one's gonna want to listen to that besides Gen Alpha. And yeah, it's funny, I'm Gen Z and I already don't understand freaking Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha has to be the worst generation ever. They were the worst of a freaking toilet, for crying out loud. But I think the 2010s era music and the 2000s era music will probably be more worked upon with more fondness. A lot of 2010s and 2020 albums actually have very good reviews by music critics, despite old boomers saying that that's not real music, unlike the Beatles, Queen, and the pioneers of real music. That real music died with rock as well. But I do get the point of a lot of people saying that modern music does suck. But they're mostly pointing to rap music, which obviously, what were you expecting? But the last thing is, a lot of people hate modern music or 2000s to current year because a lot of modern music is meaningless. Oh yes, meaningless. If you want to listen to meaningless music, just listen to Ice Spice. That's meaningless music. Or listen to Demon Dice's Garbage. Or Master Oogway. Alright, all those are modern music, but Master Oogway made like the worst song ever. But those are always but despite this, the worst examples always outbeat the best examples. For example, if you listen to the album Folklore, which is not listed here because it came out in 2020 during the COVID pandemic, a lot of those songs have a lot of heart put into them. I know a lot of people hate Taylor Swift for basically no reason. There are two camps of people who hate Taylor Swift. People who, listen to quote-unquote real music, which is mostly people who have nostalgia for old music, or 90s, 80s, 70s music, and just can't understand why people like her music. And of course, Republicans. Those are the other group of people who hate Taylor Swift. Those are the two main group of people who really hate Taylor Swift music. And one, it's mostly because of political reasons. But again, most of these people probably only listen to Kid Rock and Tom McDonald anyways. So, their artist scope is very limited if they hate music because of political reasons as well. Or they listen to like the rapper, they listen to like Kanye West because he hates the, style people. I'm not gonna say the J word, but yeah, basically hates those people as well. But I think a lot of people will have nostalgia for this era of music, especially Gen Z and millennials. Okay, there's gonna be a kind of similar to nostalgia of, the 90s and 2000s in terms of games. I think there's gonna be a lot of videos coming very soon about nostalgia for Taylor Swift or Ed Sheeran or Royals or any of these songs listed here, because a lot of people are just gonna look. Oh wait, I don't care what you think of the. I love this song. I have memories of this song. I have memories listening to this song. The song brings nostalgia and happiness to me. And a lot of these older songs, a lot of these songs from the 2010s, a lot of the comments say that, or they say that they remember listening to the song and it's just such a great song. Even like songs like Thunder, which have been rolled and touted by the critics, it doesn't matter because a lot of people will have nostalgia for the song, was elevated to popularity. And you can start to see this in the 2020s with TikTok elevating songs like I Wanna Be Yours to basically becoming one of the most streamed songs on Spotify, or in the beginning a song that released in 2022 that nobody listened to until it became popular on TikTok as well. I think you'll start to see a lot of very popular songs become popular again out of nowhere because of TikTok or being featured in movies. The reason why old music is still regularly featured in movies is because most of the people who make movies now are still old people. Of course, they're going to put the music that is from the pre-2000s because most of us are just barely entering the world. We're only in our 20s, so people who have nostalgia for the 2010s and 2000s music, they're not really gonna be featuring these songs in the movies. But don't worry. The 2010s and 2000s pop music will basically be viewed in the same way in 20 years as a lot of people view classic rock now. It's gonna be, a generational thing, and I think classic rock people will still listen to it, but it'll be way less people. It'll be the same bands and songs that people like the most famous songs, but a lot of the less famous songs and artists will continue to fade away. For example, Glass Tiger is a no one knows who Glass Tiger is as well. So yeah, I think the reason why the 2010s and 2000s and even the 2020s will be remembered so well, I think, is because of the rise of songwriters. Which, for example, Taylor Swift is one of the most influential songwriters probably in history. I know a lot of people love to downplay Taylor Swift because she only writes songs about the exes. Oh yeah, Adele does too, and everybody loves her music. So it really shows you that Adele had. I think the only reason why no one trusts Adele for doing the same thing that Taylor Swift does is because of her voice. That's simply the only reason. But yeah, Taylor Swift is easily the most influential songwriter of this decade and last decade, 2010s and 2020s. I think there's gonna be so many artists that are gonna, basically do the same thing as Taylor Swift, make pop music and make songs about what happens in their lives. Okay, for example, a lot of people might even look down upon the Beatles and their old music. Like, man, they talk about how great Let It Be is, but all they say is Let It Be over and over and over again. I can listen to some of Taylor Swift's, more unknown songs. Because yes, people who hate Taylor Swift really hate her because they hate her mainstream songs. They have never listened to any of her B-sides, but listen to a song like This Is Me Trying, Bigger Than the Whole Sky, and Ronin, and tell me those songs are meaningless songs. Oh yeah, that pits those songs like a boomer. Like, this is Taylor Swift. I thought she only made meaningless songs about her exes. Man, this is deep for a song for an artist that I used to hate, as well. Or for example, Coldplay, another artist that some people do not like. A lot of their songs too have pretty deep meanings to their songs. For example, Viva La Vida being one of the most popular songs. I think 2000s nostalgia is starting to happen. For example, Linkin Park, Arctic Monkeys, Eminem, and Coldplay being regarded as some of the greats on the top 10s. So always starting to see that era of music be loved already. as well, because Coldplay, Linkin Park, and many more artists are becoming very beloved because of people having nostalgia for them, mostly millennials who grew up in the late 90s to early 2000s, and they grew up with Eminem. They grew up with Coldplay. They did not grow up with the Beatles. They did not grow up with all these artists that the media always says are the greatest of all time. I think this is really a generational thing. So boomers who get angry at me in this video, why do you click on this video to begin with? But I think a lot of these artists and a lot of these songs are going to be as revered as classic rock songs from the 80s and 70s and 60s as well. I can say only time will tell, but I think this is going to happen because a lot of these songs have millions of billions of streams. Okay, and the nostalgia, and people are watching this of all, and I think, especially considering that music is the most accessible it's ever been, billions of people are going to be listening to some of these songs. For example, Sunflower, As It Was, and Believer, and Heat Waves, and Centuries. People are going to have nostalgia for those songs. And of course, Cruel Summer being a more recent one, and of course, the newest one would be Beautiful Things and Espresso. People in 20 years are going to be making videos how they have nostalgia and have memories related to these songs. And I think that the media is going to change the way on artists like Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Adele, and some of the other artists like Lana Del Rey or Dua Lipa or any of these modern artists, and stop saying, oh yeah, they're inferior to Aretha Franklin and all these 80s and 90s artists because we have nostalgia for them. Sorry, nostalgia wins at the end. Basically, or they'll say that the Beatles is the greatest ever, when most people young are not listening to the Beatles unless they are music nerds. Or they hear a song of theirs in a movie, like B-Movie, having Here Comes the Sun. I bet a lot of people listen to that song because it's from the B-Movie. Or listening to Thunderstruck simply because it was featured in the Mario movie. Or the most recent example is Bye 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 by Justin Timberlake's band NSYNC, because it's from the Deadpool movie. Or the fact that Hooked on a Feeling became a very popular song for years simply because it was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Or Yellow Brick Road becoming a very popular song, Beyond the Yellow Brick Road. Or I think it's called Goodbye Yellow Brick Road because it was an Ant-Man trailer. But yeah, that's about this video here, and goodbye.